So wild compo. Oh, jingling. Now, wild.
Quite a few entries this year, I believe.
We are waiting for the first one to pop up so we can announce it. demosCEne by Prime 17569, a demo for the TI-81 Plus CE graphing calculator. It's got a Z80 processor at 48 megahertz, significantly slower in reality due to weight states, 256K RAM, 4 megas flash, 320 by 200. So yes, demosCEne, which I don't know why I didn't see that. Let's just anyway.
Yeah,
demosCEne.
we got a bit to say about this. If you could just give us a chance.
Yeah, this is that was
well, apparently
really
not.
cool.
Okay, fine.
We'll talk about it afterwards.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah, we will.
cpubltro V0.4 by nicode, racing the beam on an Amiga without RAM. Without RAM. Okay, without RAM.
This is my demo board for my cpubltro project. As you can see, it's an Amiga 500 without any DRAMs, just the CPU. The code is directly running from ROM. Agnus, Denise, no parallel because we have no interrupts and sound, and no CDAs because they're currently not needed. Let's have a look at the CRT. It's flickering like hell, but I will show the project later in the emulator. So let's talk about the technical details. The complete source code and raw data of the project is available and will be later pushed to a branch on GitHub. With no RAM, we have no stack, so no exceptions, no interrupts. We have no bitplane, sprite, copy DMA, no nothing. But we can hit the slots in the scan line with the CPU. While we're erasing the beam, we can fill the sprite data and the bitplane data. There are even some slots left, so there will be more releases in the future. Some things I want to mention. I did some research for the oldest Boeing demo I could find. That's how the original looks like. I included a Ghidra project with the analysis of the complete Boeing demo and the original from August 85. As you can see, it's more or less completely analyzed. I developed a plugin so you can show Motorola floating point in the assembly window. So, that's it. Have fun. Most of the time was spent on creating the images. I want the ball to be round and I want twice the frame rate. I created an SVG to help pixel the animation map. And all the data is included in the GIMP folder. So you can see the rotor itself. That's how my project looks like in palette colors. So let's see how it looks in the emulator. So the Denise manages the mouse counters, so we can move the cursor. That's it. Have fun.
Did we get more explanation than demo? At that
We
point?
got more explanation than demo, like about 12 times more explanation.
Never mind.
A CMDG Megacorporation with their quick hello, which is C# and something else.
I'm assuming that would probably work. Would that work with any text on the screen?
I would think so.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
And then it returned the thing.
Yeah.
Mega
Dance-
Music Disc, 30 years in the making. Dance Diverse 3 by Suburban Bass. Music by Randall.
There's
And
a name
code-
I've not heard for a very long time.
And code by Visuria of Dioramos.
Yes, Suburban Bass and Randall. That is a blast from the past, honestly, that really is. As well as some of the music, yes. Commando 64 by PotcFdk. POTCFDK. On the Nintendo DS.
Knew nothing about the platform before a month ago, so here you go, folks. That was a clever way of you know, you got a month to do some stuff, and you.
Are we seeing it again?
No,
we're not.
I guess not.
I can watch that again.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was
Yes, Revision O'Clock by the Royal Belgian Beer Squadron, a sports watch. Oh, I love this Compo. I love it when it gets mad platforms in this country.
Audio and video were recorded separately and stitched together, but it's real device audio. Okay, cool. And that was wicked awesome.
Yeah. That was deliberately quiet, by the way. Entry number 7, Curvy, short event demo for the Vectrex by SDT. Can it draw curves? This is the firstie, apparently, as well. So was that Calculator 1, that was the first entry, by the way. I forgot we forgot to say.
Firstie? This is not a firstie. Okay, so Truck is incapable right now of understanding what Subi is saying. So when he said it was a firstie at first...
Those of you playing the demosCEne drinking game, by the way, the balls were touching there, so you have to take a shot.
Right. Primer by Bus Aero Collective and Teletype Corporation. What you see is what you hear. They were very much hoping to see this on the big screen, even though some of them are remote. So here you go, guys.
Okay, so basically that was the pictures were encoded into the audio track that was then played through the oscilloscope. That's correct.
Which we do not know if it was actually, if it will work on every oscilloscope or not.
No.
We'll find out. This is AMSTAIR by Raft, their new AMSTAIR CPC tool. And they're aware that if you're not a hardware CPC specialist, this might seem a little weird.
Yes, that was featuring Romeo Knight's other chip tune.
Well, yes, L YoYo by BoatByte. LED rotate display in yo-yo POC test. Too heavy to do tricks. Fingers became purple.
Might improve the hardware next time.
Just cool. And yeah, I totally understand now that I realize that yo-yo, yes, his finger would get purple. That is just a brilliant concept. I love it. Banana for Scale by djedditt. His first intro. And also the folks that I said were not firsties last compo, that was my mistake. I didn't understand what Subi was saying because comprehension is not a skill I have today.
I think we're channeling the Dull Men's Club from there. I read that a lot too. Also, music by Maze of Desire. Love to see it. Entry number 12 is 8-Bit Breaker by Doc of Moose Plateau. Oh, KC85-3 again. This is a mad little computer.
Hello from Moods Plateau. We've got a new replayer for the KC85. That's an East German computer with 8-bit. And this computer has a rectangular wave generator that produces that sound. And in the year 2018, we managed to replay samples with that computer. And now we have a major improvement because we found one more bit in sample depth that can be used, and so the replay quality is 100% higher than before, and it sounds now like this.
Yeah, the Klein computer. It's a computer containing a Z80 clone that was made in East Germany in the 80s, basically. Entry number 13 is No Risk, No Fun by Slerpy.
This may be a static image. I'm not sure. However, RISC V, awesome. Yep, there we go. No risk, no fun. Risk is the future. Or maybe it didn't. Well, anyway,
Okay,
real time.
that was an executable graphics entry,
All right.
but he meant to prepare a video telling how.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Real-time tech demo Castello by Macau Exports on Nintendo 64. High tech without any shaders.
What the so we think the music is actually coming directly out of the Nintendo 64.
I
but
think
that
it
was
is.
fantastic. Zelda could have looked so much better. And a demo in ByteBeat, entry number 15.
We'll explain bytebeat in a minute. Another firstie. So bytebeat is basically code and an incrementing variable to generate sounds and music, usually C or JavaScript.
Okay, so apparently that runs those graphics using error messages on a ByteBeat website, which is a bit mad. Also, we knew we were going to see those SDNIC vectors.
Yeah,
so
we did. This is an N64 thing, and we didn't catch the title. Oh, it's on the big screen. It's a small 64 by N64 Brew. The first 4K on a Nintendo 64.
see, Nintendo gave up on the 64 way too long. Switch 2, bullshit. Come on. Get back on the 64. 90s Rewind by Void. Entry number 17.
CDTV.
Ooh. Christ, somebody found a working CD TV.
It's in the back.
'90s Rewind by Void. 18 is a watch project that got out of hand by Andrew. Why buy things when you can make them yourself for 3 times the price? That's the point.
And buying one felt too easy. So instead, I opened up KiCad, and after several attempts and failed add-ons, I got this. A watch completely optimized for a minimal amount of power consumption. And some fun extras. Now, of course, you want to be able to easily program this, so I also added a quick programmer board and added some test code so you can easily debug what's going to be on the display. After that, all we still have to do is make a case, add a battery, and we finally get the watch. It can of course be used as a watch, but I also decided to add some more fun stuff to it, which of course includes Snake. Now, this is a black and white display, which naturally means one thing.
That is much appreciated.
Not surprisingly, it's just agonizingly long.
If you want to play with this yourself, there is a GitHub page with all KiCad files, 3D models and code to tinker with. Simply scan the QR code and you can visit the repo. It's not public yet, because I wanted to wait until after the Compo for that, but in an hour you should be fine to go wild. Have fun!
I am torn between wanting to get one and not wanting to get one because it plays bad Apple.
Well, it certainly got out of hand.
Yes, it did. Springy Break by MARMOT.
More Ninty 64.
Yay, I'm going to have to get a proper Nintendo 64.
I think that was Conkers before he had the bad fur day.
Yeah, yeah. Signal Carnival by Reflex. Plugging in his C64, is he doing that right?
We're going to cross
I
the
knew
cables
it.
today. So you set up a C64. There's a few things you need to connect. The power cable, the serial cable, and the audio-video cable, which breaks out into at least 2 plugs. The yellow one gives you video signal. Generated by the VIC chip, it can do 16 colors, 8 sprites, scrolling, and bitmaps. The white one gives you an audio signal from the SID chip. 3 voices, 8 waveforms, filters, Hall curves, etc. You would normally connect that to a speaker. Except today, we're going to connect the audio output of the C64 to the video input.
So one day he plugged them in the wrong way round and thought, "Hey, I can make a demo out of that."
No, it's just Quiz understands audio and signal processing far too well.
Anyway,
Opposite of AI by Skenejärven ala-aste. And I can't read the screen anymore. Oh, there's people on stage.
Is this going to be more poetry?
I'm predicting, yes. All right, well, this is setting up. Let's talk about some of the things we've seen so far. First of all, we've seen a lot of firsties.
Yes, we
which
have.
is awesome. And those people that I said were not firsties, I was, again, confused, but I was actually thinking that it wasn't that the person had produced a firstie, but it was the first time somebody was doing something on that particular platform, which we've also seen a few things of. And we've had some custom hardware and debuggers and two different ways that Germans show videos of things they've created.
I'm letting you dig your own hole on this one.
No, it's two very, very different methods. They are very much different and also very much German. Then we've seen a lot of N64 stuff. And that the first thing that we saw, the demosCEne portion.
Yeah.
That the reason why that was on the screen twice is that one was running from an emulator, and that was the one that was clearer, and the other picture was directly from the real, actual hardware. Yeah. The oscilloscope thing was, oh look, people are playing with the cameras, and entertaining the crowd. And we can't see it very well from here. The oscilloscope thing apparently is actually playing the audio on the screen. What we need to know from the Bus Error Collective Teletype Corporation. It's Teletype Corporation, right? Not or Teletron or...
It's Teletype.
Teletype.
Yeah.
And I believe there's one of the guys from Teletype Corporation here. So at least somebody's wearing a T-shirt that looks a lot like it. So I'm going to ask him. He was in the pit yesterday.
Yeah.
So technical difficulties, we remain confident. The we remain confident is a meme this year. I don't quite get it. Because I wasn't in on the initial part of the meme, but yes, we remain confident. Teletype Corporation, yes. What we need to know is, does that play on every oscilloscope?
There's some very specific setup requirements.
Okay.
Just let me dig those out.
DJ Level 3 is in IRC, and he's here to answer questions. So... he may answer the question for me, but it might also be in the description, so yes.
No, sorry, I was thinking of another entry.
Okay, so DJ Level 3, hit me with the answers to that. Yes, asterisk, if you have the right sound hardware. Okay, so the correct answer is if you have the correct sound hardware, it will produce this stuff in such a way that it will work with any oscilloscope.
Yeah.
So that's
It reminds me of the whole slow what's it called, slow screen TV thing. Basically, where you encode images into WAV files and play them over things.
Yeah.
Valve famously used it for the ARG when they were announcing Portal 2.
I was not in that channel. I was very much active in that ARG, the potato sack. I was in the thing for. I was in several of the IRC channels, but I was specifically in the IRC channel for a Defense Grid, The Awakening. And that's where a lot of stuff took place because, well, first, they had so many extras in the game as a result of this. And we solved the puzzles too quickly, so they just added a bunch more. But yeah, that was great. They actually, I remember when the first extra level dropped for that, and the first extra level dropped, and we all looked at it, and it was, this was 2010, I believe, and QR codes were not all that prevalent at the time. So when we were looking at the level, it was like, there's something about this that it's trying, what is this? And finally we realized if you zoomed out, it was a QR code. And then all of us were like, scan it. And then we got the URL to go to for the next part. And yeah, that was just nuts. And then there was another part where each one of us had to have, each person got a different level of something, and we had to put them in the correct order. And there was a portion in another one of there were some text games, and one of the clues in there that didn't make any sense was that this person could not see the color yellow. So if you put these things, made them out of Lego in the correct order and removed all of the yellow pieces, then it actually said a word if you rotated the 3D object.
Right.
I don't remember what it was, and that led us to the next level.
Jesus.
And then there was another part where Jake, two tribes, which unfortunately is defunct now, but two tribes had a thing in Tokitori 2. And they had a hint that you had to actually go to a specific set of coordinates on the globe, which happened to be their office. And
somebody's pointing out that they're definitely exceeding the allowable pre-calc time for this.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, they are definitely exceeding the pre-calc time.
No, the Portal 2 one that I remember was basically if you were playing, I think it was, if you were playing Portal 1, then basically, oh, hang on, we might be starting.
Right, yeah, we might.
I shall have to reminisce later on. But.
Well, maybe not. There's a little bit of startup time. Anyway, Jake had to climb up a pole outside of their office and put a bag of potatoes outside. And they actually filmed him doing it, and it showed up in a movie a bit later. It was nuts. Valve, do more ARGs. They're fun.
Kasvaneet todella paljon tänä vuonna. Ja he ovat ylpeitä esittäessään teille uuden projektinsa, joka on täysi vastakohta tekoäly hömpälle.
Coordinates. Frame number equals 0. HC equals pos.x plus pos.y plus frame number module is equal to 0. Flag color.RGB equals light blue. Else, if C is equal to 1, flag color.RGB equals pink. Else, if C is equal to 2, flag color.RGB equals white. Else, if C is equal to 3, flag color.RGB equals pink. Else, if C is equal to 4, flag color.RGB equals light blue. Else, if C is equal to 5, flag color.RGB equals dark blue. Frame number equals 1. Frame number equals 2. Frame number equals 3. Frame number equals 4. Frame number equals 5. Reset. Frame number equals 0. If pos.y is equal to 2, flag color.RGB equals pos.x is equal to 3, question mark, yellow, colon, light blue. Else, if pos.y is equal to 1, flag color.RGB equals frame number is equal to pos.x plus 1, or frame number is equal to pos.x plus 2, question mark, dark red, colon, light blue. Else, if pos y is equal to 0, flag color.RGB equals dark blue. Frame number equals 1. Frame number equals 2. Frame number equals 2. Frame number equals 2. Frame number equals 2. Frame number equals 3. Frame number equals 3. Frame number equals 3. Frame number equals 3. Frame number equals 4. Frame number equals 4. Frame number equals 4. Frame number equals 4. Frame number equals 5. Frame number equals 5. Frame number equals 5. Frame number equals 5. Thank you to the event team and Beam team for making this possible.
All right, that was longest pre-calc ever by, no, actually that was an entry in C64 thing at Breakpoint 2003.
Didn't we ban fire?
No, we did not, and I hope we do not get banned now. Kaleidoscopico by LFP, back to the bare metal, Raspberry Pi Pico 2.
Yes.
Oh, good. This...
He will now build the Raspberry Pi in front of you.
Yes, and it will take less time than the setup for that. Okay, sorry, Val, we're making fun of you. But you knew I was going to anyway.
Hi, you're probably familiar with the Raspberry Pi, which is a fully equipped desktop computer capable of running Linux. It's cool, but way too powerful to tickle the brain of an old-school democoder. The Raspberry Pi Pico series is something else entirely. This is just a €1 microcontroller, along with a minimal set of external components to get it up and running. The whole board is around €5, and for that price you get a surprisingly powerful system, but it's still a microcontroller. There's no operating system, you're programming the bare metal, timing is predictable down to individual clock cycles, and you have to be frugal with memory. The Pico 2 has 520 kilobytes of RAM and 4 megabytes of flash for storing the program. I'm not using all of the flash, my demo is around 700 kilobytes, so it would fit on one of these. Then there are 2 processor cores rated up to 150 MHz. Remarkably, these can operate either as industry-standard ARM cores or as RISC-V cores, something I was eager to try. RISC-V is an open, royalty-free processor architecture, and its elegant instruction set was such a pleasure to work with that I ended up implementing the entire demo in assembly language. The microcontroller has no dedicated video or audio circuitry, so you have to generate all signals yourself, but there are some highly useful peripherals like programmable input-output blocks, pulse width modulation, a DMA controller, and an eccentric feature called the interpolator. The digital signals from the Pico have to be brought out to, in this case, a VGA connector and a stereo jack, and I do that in the simplest way possible with a bunch of resistors and capacitors. Schematics are included in the release, so you can build and run this demo at home. So let's connect video, audio, and power. And here we go, Kaleidoscopico.
Yep, I'm learning RISC V assembly.
I think it's been said many times before, but LFT is a genius.
Oh, yeah. He's sitting right over there, and I already gave him
End of the
That's it
wild.
for the wild compo. You may notice we had another compo coming up in the compo log, but
We did.
you have been drowning us in entries, so we have already a lot of delay,
Yep.
and we don't want to keep you from